What's going on YouTube? So in today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the levels that I bought. I bought some Stabila levels, but the main idea is I have to figure out how to fit them in this trailer. It's a 5x8 trailer with very limited space, so I got to figure out how to get them all in here. I've got a bunch of different sizes here. So here's my old levels, and I had storage figured out for those, but now it's time to get this all settled. So stay tuned for the video. Okay, so I bought this set on Amazon. It's about 600 bucks, so a very big investment, but I think it'll be worth it. These all have a lifetime warranty, and from everything I've heard are super good levels, and already I can tell the quality is just amazing. Here are my old levels. This long one is from Harbor Freight. It's a Pittsburgh level, and it was like 20 bucks. These have worked pretty great for me, but they're very cheap, so I'm excited to upgrade. The Milwaukee one's definitely the nicest. I'll probably hold on to that, keep that in the shop, but just going to get rid of these two. So what I was doing in the trailer is I had this block here for the Milwaukee, and I had it mounted like this so that this could slide over and then slide down, and it locked it in vertically. It sat like this, and then I could just hang it. So I'm going to do the same system for a lot of these. For this guy, since it's so long, my trailer is only, I don't know, 5'10" high. So I can't fit this guy vertically. So I had this horizontal. With these that I made, they go right in here. And then I had basically this little flip up stop that I could swing to lock it in place. And I'll show you guys where I had those. So I had the Milwaukee one right here. And so I think I'll put my 4-foot Stabilo there. That worked out pretty well. Up here is where I had the 6-foot Pittsburgh. It went across from that corner all the way to here. It ended about here. And the new level that I have is like another 6 inches. So it should end right there and be perfect. I think I'm going to do the same flip style stop for that. That worked really well. And then I had my 24-inch level hanging from these two hooks in the front. That worked all right. Not my favorite. I think I'm going to change that. What I'm thinking right now is that I'll put the 6'6" level across here. I'll put the 4-foot level right here. And then I think I'm going to remove these guys here. I've just got these on a screw. So I think I'll find a different spot for these. I don't use them a whole lot. And then I'll hang some levels going down here. So the system I'm thinking about is for these three, these are all going to hang vertically like this. So I'm going to do something similar with this style system where this block here, the smaller block, is just a little bit thicker than the width of this level so that it'll sit in this slot, and then I can come from the front and hang it on that. So these three will be hanging vertically. This will be the only one that hangs horizontally. And for this system, I want to get it as tight up into the trailer as possible. So I don't really have any room to bring it up and over. So I'm going to do the same system that I had for my old level, where I've got a block that it slides directly over with a stop on it that spins and then locks in place for transit. So regardless of that, all the blocks that sit in these are going to be the same. So I'm going to measure this, measure the width of this level, and then add just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to measure the width of this level with the calipers, and then I'll probably add about 30,000th of an inch, just to give it a little bit of play so that it's not super snug. I do want it to be tight, but I think about 30,000ths will be perfect. So let's measure this guy. we get about 1.15, pretty close to that. So let's add like 30. We'll go 1.18 about for the width of our lumber that I'm going to mill up. I've got this nice offcut from some cherry that I'm going to use to mill all these blocks. So I'm going to come over here and dial in my planer here to that 1.18. Okay, and now I'm going to finally dimension this guy. I'll cut a little piece off of this just to make sure it fits good. So here is my little test block. So the height on it is dialed in perfectly. That 1.8 or 1.18. So then the width, I just measured the inside with the calipers like that, and then subtracted a little bit just for a little side-to-side play. And then I just set my table saw to that measurement, made sure this block fits everything, and now I'm going to rip that. And we should have all our material ready to go. So I've got 6 at 3.5 inches and 2 at 4.5 inches. The reasoning behind that is the ones that hang vertically, they need enough room to get over there and slide on. So if you have it exactly at 4.5 inches, which is the distance from here to here, there's no room to lift it up and over. Since this is the back piece, here's my old one from my Milwaukee, it needs to be shorter than the front so that you have that room to get it up and over. So these ones are shorter for the ones that hang vertically. They'll fit in there like this, and I'll round the corners on all these. And then these are going to be a pretty nice snug fit into the one that hangs horizontally there. So once I round these corners, should be fitting pretty good. Okay, so to swing the arc, I'm going to lay this out with a compass, and then I have a reference line to go to the belt sander and sand away. So basically I'm going to set my scribe or my compass here to half the distance of this block, if that makes sense. I got a nice sharp pencil on here. So then I'm going to come in right here, mark that line. We'll place the compass right on that, press down a little bit, and then I'm going to swing that arc. And then I've got my my reference curve, if that makes sense, to sand to. And I'll do that on this side, right here, here, on all these blocks. And I can take it to the belt sander. So I got all these blocks milled up. First, I was running too fine of a belt, so I switched to a 50 grit, and that helped a lot better. I was getting burning with that fine belt, but then I switched, and it looks a whole lot better. So now I'm going to mill the fronts of these, and that can just be out of any lumber really. I think I'm just gonna use like 3/4 inch stock and just mimic this round over and make it a little bit taller. Um, but it still can't be wider or taller than that opening. So I'll probably make this about 4¼ inches to allow the 4.5 inch opening to slide up and over. And then these, I'm just going to use the locks that I had previously made. These guys, I'm just going to reuse these and put them like right here, so that when it's opened up, it sits like that, and then when it's closed, it goes like that. All my blocks are done. These are the ones that will sit up top here, like this. I still have to radius the bottom here, but I'm going to attach them first, um, and then just flush trim that to match. I did mess up on one of these, so I had to remake it. I didn't have any more cherry, so this was a piece of maple that I had, but I don't really care. I got all the blocks glued up and flushed out with the belt sander. Belt sander worked better than a router. So now I'm going to just put a little 1/8 inch round over on these guys, just on this front edge here. So I'll do that real quick. Turn this guy on. All the blocks are done, sanded, rounded over. I countersunk the mounting holes. Alright, the blocks are all done, ready to be installed. I messed up. I had to add a 1/4 inch spacer on the back here because this was too thin. I did that when I cut these blocks to size and put my radius on there. I referenced the wrong side, so I had to make some adjustments and then add this spacer, but it's going to work out good. These things fit nicely, and I finished this style too. Got that thing sliding nicely with a little bit of paste wax on there. And then I put a little bit of Danish oil on it because I might as well go overboard and super fancy with these things. So yeah, on to installation. All done here. Everything is in nice and tight. Very pleased with how this came out. I've got the 4-foot level on the back here. It's a great system. Just lifts up and out, and then holds it nice and safe during transit. It's not going anywhere. I mean, there's enough slop to get it in and out of there, but it holds it nice and tight if you do your measurements correctly. And then this guy turned out pretty good. I like this latch system. You could also do an offset like this if you're hanging it horizontally. I just couldn't because I wanted to get it up tight against this, and I can't lift it up and over anything. But if you're hanging them on the wall of your trailer, you could totally do like a hook method too. But this works well for horizontal. And then also I did think you could also stack these. So you could just make this too deep so that you could store 2 or 3 levels on there if you wanted to. There's definitely a few different ideas you could do here. hopefully this helped you out, gave you some ideas. Get creative with it. Hopefully you guys liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, follow for more, and have a great day.